The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice.
Howdy, brothers and sisters. This is T-Pain USA. And welcome to another episode of the Really American T-Cast. Now, T-Pain hopes you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend, so drop another burger on the grill and then hit us with a like and a subscribe, and we'll slip this political starship into warp drive. There's been a number of great catastrophes in modern history. The Hindenburg, the Titanic, 9/11, and the final episode of Dexter. But pound for pound, it's hard to find a more disastrous, self-inflicted catastrophe than Trump's speech last night at the National Libertarian Convention. When you boil it all down, Trump's no more a libertarian than he is a constitutional conservative. But Trump's ego can't wrap its tiny little brain around the fact that not everyone loves him as much as he loves himself. So think about this. Trump can't even get his own vice president to vote for him. So why go to a rival party's political convention? Well, maybe the fact Trump never tried to assassinate any libertarians will just have to be enough. Well, in true Trumpian fashion, there was boatloads of drama even before Trump showed up. It seems that Robert Kennedy Jr.'s crew showed up too, and they brought with them a little gift basket to welcome Trump. Bunches of rubber chickens that said, "Debate Bobby." Now we see the first clue is why Trump was lured to show up at the Libertarian Convention. Imagine Trump's excitement when he found out there was buckets of chicken waiting on him. Sadly, the Secret Service, whose job these days seems to be more of protecting Trump from himself, confiscated the chickens because it was a security threat. Now here's the funny thing. MAGA didn't even bat an eye as Trump deprived hundreds of Americans of their God-given Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Or in this case, legs, wings, and thighs. The Secret Service was pretty thorough though, but it appears one of them slipped through. Check out the left side of the screen in this next clip.
If delays prevent their treatment in VA hospitals, in other words, if they're delayed. Thank you very much. That was a great article. Thank you. D. Roy Murdoch, thank you.
But that was only the start of the pre-show drama. While the libertarian folks was in the other room doing whatever libertarian folks do, MAGA thought they'd pull a fast one and sneak in and pack the house for Trump. When the libertarians filed back in and discovered MAGA had astroturfed their own convention, bedlam ensued as they tried to wrestle back their convention from the maggot carpetbaggers. Now, when MAGA found out that their scheme to protect their anointed one was thwarted, they took to the mean Twitter streets of X to attack the libertarians for being so self-entitled. After all, how dare them hoity-toity libertarians be allowed to attend their own convention? Now here we see a tweet from the doctor of MAGA love himself, Johnny MAGA, calling Trump's host scum. Now, this little fella's bedside manner is lacking, wouldn't you say? Is insulting the very voters you hope will join you in electing your plump, orange-tinted messiah a good idea? Folks, it ain't the right way, but it's the MAGA way. When Trump took the stage, he seemed a mite confused. He was met with a bunch of free Ross signs, and he didn't exactly know what to make out of it. Now, apparently Ross refers to Ross Ulbricht, some fellow that created the darknet site Silk Road that facilitated millions of dollars in illegal narcotic sales and countless collateral deaths, which is apparently a libertarian thing, something that Trump would normally be on board with. But it still didn't register. Could you imagine what Trump was thinking? I had no idea that Ross from Friends was in prison. Now the fun begins. MAGA failed to terraform the convention floor into a Trump safe space, and their fragile man-baby God King is about to face the music. Now T-Pain has to perform a public service by issuing an all-point schadenfreude alert. So buckle up, buttercups. This is going to be a fun ride.
Roy wrote, Donald J. Trump will address the Libertarian Party at its national convention on Saturday. The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win.
Wow. This is starting off great, ain't it? Now, Trump's saying that things ain't going rosy, right? So he thinks, what's the Trumpiest thing I can do? Check this out.
No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years.
That's it, Donald. That'll make them love you. Now, cover the issue that's the beating heart of American libertarianism.
As everyone knows, it will be my great honor to pardon the peaceful January 6th protesters, or, as I often call them, the hostages. They're hostages. There has never been a group of people treated so harshly or unfairly in our country's history. This abuse will be rectified, and it will be rectified very quickly.
Wow. Move over, slaves. Move over, Native Americans. Years of chains, cruelty, and genocide pale in comparison to them poor folks that beat police officers and smeared their feces on the walls of our Capitol building. So cut out your whining, because they're the real victims of history. Now, brothers and sisters, this next clip will be brought to you in its entirety, free from commercial interruption, so you can bask in the boolicious afterglow. T-Pain will catch you on the other side.
So that's good. It's a theft. We believe we cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. And I stand, and I am not a good thing. That's nice. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice.
Wasn't that bootyful? Now, T-Pain don't smoke, but if he did, this would definitely be a time for a cigarette, wouldn't it? Now, this is how most Americans really feel about Donald Trump. And folks, if you're not totally spent, T-Pain's got a little bonus footage for you folks just catching your second wind. Check this out. You're welcome. So let's break it down, shall we? Trump ain't no more a libertarian than Jeffrey Dahmer was a sous chef. Trump literally added $8 trillion to the national debt in only 4 years. Now, national debt is the original sin of libertarianism. But Trump believes he's so smart, he could convince these folks that he's also a bona fide libertarian. But the libertarians didn't buy it for a second, did they?
But you ain't bona fide.
So let's look at it this way. Trump could have been anywhere last night. Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, or Nevada. Someplace that could actually make a difference in November. So why, in the past 2 days, has Trump selected to speak at an embarrassingly tiny crowd in the Bronx, considering he lost New York by 23%? Or the Libertarian Convention, where he'd get a colder reception than a Milli Vanilli reunion tour? You see, it's part of this authoritarian mindset that craves the illusion of inevitability. Trumpers believe all Trump has to do is show up and they'll handle the rest. Just see what South Carolina Senator and fantasy slave bounty hunter Tim Scott had to say about last night's fiasco.
Appreciate it. I want to start with what happened last night.
Morning,
Donald
Dana.
Trump, good morning, faced a mix of cheers and boos at the Libertarian National Convention. What did you make of that response?
Well, I saw a wave of red hats at the Libertarian Convention. Donald Trump's popularity continues to increase, but
Speaking of big lies, check out what Trump Heine Inspector Monica Crowley had to say about the past couple of Trump disasters. One night, President Trump has the Bronx cheering for him. The next night, he has the Libertarians going wild for him. He's expanded MAGA in unbelievable ways. Absolute legend. T-Pain's going to shoot you straight. The book of Revelation clearly says that liars will be friars, and the hottest part of the lake of fire is going to be reserved for folks like this. Now, strangely, in the midst of all this booing, hissing, and hypocriting, Trump actually said something mildly prophetic. Check this out.
And don't allow the worst president in the history of our country to come back and do the final destruction of America.
And don't allow the worst president in the history of our country to come back and do the final destruction of America? Sure thing, Donald. But be careful what you wish for. T-Pain out.